Hello. Everyone on planet Earth was originally born dark-skinned. The vitamin D from the sun will kill you if you get too much of it. That's why you get a sunburn. The melanin in your cells shuts off the vitamin D coming in from the sun to protect you from dying. Now you need some vitamin D for the cells to grow and multiply, but if you get too much, you'll get skin cancer. But it'll kill you. Not just skin cancer, but you get too much vitamin D. So people in deep time, the whole relationships of species on planet Earth coming from sunlight, which all these 92 elements you're surrounded with that makes everything, however you participate with them as your food and turns into you, and you do about 175 tons of food by the time you're 70 years old or so, and you breathe 40 pounds of air a day. So this virus is proof that everything on the planet can go extinct overnight. Different species or different forms of life that participate with the sunlight radiation hitting and turning into different radiuses of the 92 elements, and then when they combine together, they make human beings. Or they can make a dog, or make a cat, or make a tree, make a fly, make everything. So this is all happening. Seems very mysterious, we're actually, everyone's black on Earth, so let's get over this stuff. There's no such thing as race, and anyone that's in the same environment with information will be just as smart as the other one based on the information they get. So if you're brought up one religion or another religion, then you feel that that's more important, and they have wars and kill each other over religions, which they all basically, Buddha was 500 years before Christ, and Christ is before Islam, and the whole thing is a chain coming from Hindi, and there's a chronological conservation of experience that moves through time that makes these things happen, and then people have their own languages, so they make their hero the way they want to, but it's always the same basic, like the Ten Commandments is in Buddhist temple and pictures, and the religions are all a flow of intellectual software for human brains, and but when people started to count and measure things, that's when we started getting tools that were sophisticated and finding the different 92 elements to make bearings and make different things, that makes tools that are more sophisticated, like to go to the moon with, and the way you put them together, the amount of heat from an engine, you need cobalt and things that won't melt. You have to have metallurgy, and all the things that the human species has arranged to make things, to make human beings advance. Unfortunately, most of the time it's been by war, and we educated ourselves because we had to because of war. But that was based on the Thomas Malthus and back in England saying has to be war because there's not enough to go around. The real arithmetic rate of human beings and the geometric rate of food, and but that's not true anymore. That was before canned food, before refrigeration, and before this different scientific ways to make food, and now we have way too much food. But then the weapons, we 2/3 of humans, governments are putting their money into weapons or killing. So if you put living reinvestment versus killing reinvestment, you're not stealing or taxing the people for, people don't care if they're paying taxes to kill people. But then if you try to give somebody, baby comes out of their mother, you get back in there, you little reliever, you're going to get my taxes. So, this is all ridiculous, So now the human species, we're all Afro-American, and when you go north, you cover up for the winter, and then you get less sun, so you turn white so that you obtain more vitamin D faster. And because you need it, you have to have it to live too, to make your cells multiply. So they say, well, Eskimos are dark. They're not in the sunlight. What they eat, seals. And then there's certain species of Homo sapiens that died off in Northern Europe because they didn't eat the fish and they didn't eat seals, and they died of not having vitamin D. And then, people came over on the Mayflower and died of scurvy because they didn't get enough vitamin C, and they just needed to eat limes. That's why they call them limeys. But see, human beings are only here a short amount of time. Usually 40 years 20 was actually a long time at the time of the Egyptians, and then it was 40, and then now it's getting up to where there's enough science that average people have enough time to wade into some of the more sophisticated information, because mostly schools were invented for kings to take total control of the people. So one would take care of the horses, one would take care of the language, one would take care of painting the castle, and one would do this and that. And as long as they were all separated, he was the king, so he ran everything. But now, Leonardo da Vinci types are comprehensive human beings, so that's the way to live, is to become a comprehensivist. So people have more leisure time, they tend to get more sophisticated information out of their leisure time so that they can become aware of information that no one else has paid any attention to. Now, I call this homeschooling for the planet. I have a concept called UNITIVITY, which includes all the religions under one umbrella, which is a scientific umbrella that just uses measurements with numbers along with whatever religion you want. So everybody can forsake the concept that they're going to have a war with another religion, and they can say, well, I'm a unitivitist and I'll go along with UNITIVITY, and we'll use numbers and science together and live together, collaborate, trade together, and not have war. And I call that the UNITIFIC method. And this is something that I think that people with RVs understand more than other people, and I'd like for them to try to start with me the UNITIFIC concept, the UNITIVITY, to become unitivitous, and then you can still be a Christian, or Islamic, or whatever you want to be, but it's a way for us to sophisticatedly move towards the future to where the whole planet is one big town. Take all the countries, put them in a hat, put them all together, that's where it's at. So I hope that this makes sense to you, and that in deep time, species go extinct overnight. They've found that they don't kind of die out slowly, and it's because of things like this virus. So if you're not using a mask, you're not well informed, then you die off fast. If you wear a mask, you don't die off as fast. So, but a lot of species went extinct, and when they find the bones, they find them all at once at the same time, like the dinosaurs went under from a meteor. The virus is a very small little spherical geodesic with great circle arc little machine that knocks us out, eats our cells. So we need to fight it as if it's a real war. because entropy is what makes a system fall apart. This virus is entropic to human bodies and cells, and it does away with your body. You can't breathe. It even turns your blood into mud, from what one of my doctors have told me that I have studied. So please consider this concept of making heaven on earth, on spaceship Earth, and that we're all astronauts together. And I think RV people is the best way to start this. So I'll communicate with them about it later. Thank you very much.